Candlelight Tales. We can make a personalized story for your child. Find out more in the description below. And now, it's time for a story. Leo and the Fire Inside, Anger and Emotional Regulation. Leo was usually a cheerful boy. He loved playing soccer, climbing trees, and making his little sister laugh. But sometimes, when things didn't go his way, something inside him heated up, like a spark turning into a flame. The spark. One sunny afternoon, Leo and his friends were building a tall tower with colorful wooden blocks. He carefully placed the last block on top. But just as he stepped back, the tower collapsed. The other kids laughed a little. Leo's cheeks grew hot. "It's not funny," he shouted. Inside his chest, he felt a small fire spark. He crossed his arms and turned away, the spark flickering brighter. The growing flame. Later that day, Leo was playing soccer. He ran fast, aiming for the goal, but just before he could kick, another player accidentally bumped him and took the ball. "Hey, that was mine!" Leo yelled. The fire inside him grew like a campfire being fed dry wood. He stomped the ground. He felt like shouting more, maybe even pushing, but something deep down whispered, "Stop! This flame can burn." He didn't know what to do with the heat swirling inside. The storm breaks. At home, Leo's sister accidentally spilled juice on his drawing. It was the last straw. "Why do you always ruin everything?" he yelled. His face turned red. Tears of frustration filled his eyes. The fire inside became a storm of flames. He slammed his bedroom door and sat on the floor, breathing fast. Then he noticed his reflection in the mirror, a boy with clenched fists, tense shoulders, and fiery eyes. He barely recognized himself. Breathing out the fire. A gentle knock on the door. It was Dad. "Can I come in?" Leo didn't answer, but Dad quietly sat down beside him. "I see you're feeling really mad," Dad said calmly. "Anger is like fire, powerful. If we let it spread, it burns. But if we learn to control it, it can give us warmth and light." Leo sniffled. "I don't know how to stop it." Dad took a deep breath. "Let's try this. Put your hand on your belly. Now breathe in, slowly, hold it, and breathe out. Like you're blowing out a candle. Try to cool the fire." Leo followed. In, hold, out, again, and again. With each breath, the fire inside him softened, like embers after a flame. Warm, not wild. Later, Leo went to his sister. She was sitting sadly on the couch. "I'm sorry I yelled," he said softly. "I was really mad, but it wasn't your fault." She hugged him. "It's okay." Leo realized something important. Anger itself wasn't bad. It was how he used it. Like fire, it could cook food or burn a forest. The next day, when his tower fell again, he felt the spark. But this time, he took a deep breath. The spark didn't grow. It simply warmed him and faded. Anger is a natural emotion. It can help us notice when something is wrong. But if we don't manage it, it can hurt others and ourselves. Learning to breathe, pause, and express feelings calmly turns fire into light. Leela and the Color of Feelings. In the heart of a quiet valley stood the village of Brightvale, where every child had a small lantern that glowed with the color of their feelings. When children felt happy, their lanterns shone golden. When they were sad, they turned deep blue. Anger glowed fiery red, and calm feelings were soft green. Everyone could see each other's emotions, except for one little girl named Leela. Lila's lantern was special. It changed colors inside, but never shone on the outside. Nobody could see what she felt. Sometimes even Lila herself didn't understand her own feelings. and that made her confused. One morning, Brightvale prepared for the Festival of Lights, where children walked through the village with their glowing lanterns. The happier the village, the brighter the night sky became. But Lila sat quietly by the window, watching others. Her friend Tom, with his shining green lantern, knocked on her door. "Lila, aren't you coming?" he asked. "I don't know," she whispered. "I don't feel like my lantern is ready." She felt something heavy in her chest. Not sadness, not anger, just something strange. That evening, Lila decided to walk alone to the whispering forest, where it was said that emotions grew like flowers. Each flower had a color and a scent that revealed hidden feelings. As she walked deeper into the forest, she saw glowing blossoms everywhere. A bright orange flower hummed gently. "Hello, little one," said a warm voice. It came from a giant, gentle butterfly with wings that reflected every color of the lanterns. "I am Ari, the keeper of feelings. Why do you look so lost?" "I don't know what I'm feeling," Lila confessed. "Everyone else's lanterns show their colors. Mine doesn't, and tonight is the festival." Ori fluttered closer. "Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. What color do you wish your lantern would be?" Lila closed her eyes. She felt her heart beat faster. She thought about Tom, about the festival, about the strange heaviness. Then, slowly, a warm pink light appeared in her mind. "Pink," Lila said softly. "Ah," Ari smiled. "Pink is the color of mixed feelings, excitement, a little fear, and hope. You have more than one emotion inside you. That's why your lantern stays hidden. You must learn to name them." Ari led Lila through the forest. They passed flowers of all colors. "This one is for loneliness," Ari said, pointing to a pale blue blossom. "This is anger." She pointed to a crackling red flower. "And this soft silver one is courage." Lila touched each flower, whispering the names of the feelings. As she did, she felt something magical happen. Her lantern began to shimmer faintly, as if waking from a long sleep. When they returned to the village, Lila saw Tom waiting for her. "Where were you?" he asked, worried. "I was learning what I feel," Lila said. "I think I was scared and excited at the same time. But now I feel brave." Tom smiled. "Then let's walk together." As they joined the festival, Lila's lantern suddenly burst into bright pink and silver light, illuminating the entire street. People gasped in awe. They had never seen such colors before. The sky lit up more beautifully than ever, and for the first time, Lila's feelings weren't hidden anymore. She had learned to understand herself and to share it with others. From that day on, whenever Lila felt something, she paused, breathed, and named it. Her lantern became a symbol in Brightvale. The more you understand your feelings, the brighter your light shines. The Color Garden of Feelings. Once upon a time, in a quiet valley, there was a magical garden where emotions grew like flowers. Each feeling had its own special color. Joy grew as bright yellow daisies. Sadness bloomed in soft blue tulips. Anger burst into fiery red roses, and calm spread like gentle green leaves. The guardian of the garden was a little fox named Fina. Every morning she walked among the flowers, watering them and whispering kind words. The colors in the garden were strong when feelings were expressed honestly, but when feelings were hidden or ignored, the flowers began to wilt. One day, Fina woke up to find something strange. The yellow daisies had lost their shine. The blue tulips drooped, the red roses tangled their thorns, and the green leaves turned pale. "Oh, no!" cried Fina. the garden is losing its feelings. She hurried to ask the wise old owl, Orlo, who lived at the tallest tree. "Orlo, what's happening to the garden?" she asked, her ears trembling. Orlo blinked slowly. "Fina, the garden reflects the hearts of the creatures in the valley. Someone has stopped sharing their true feelings. You must find who it is and help them." Fina set off through the valley. First, she met Lumi, a little rabbit. Lumi was hopping quickly, forcing a big smile. "Hello, Lumi. How are you feeling today?" asked Fina. "I'm fine." "Very fine," Lumi said quickly, but Fina noticed his ears were low and his eyes watery. "Sometimes being fine means we're hiding something," said Fina gently. "It's okay to feel sad." Lumi's smile trembled. I lost my favorite carrot toy yesterday. I wanted to be brave." As Lumi spoke the truth, soft blue tulips in the garden began to lift their heads again. "Thank you for sharing, Lumi," said Fina. "Real bravery is talking about how we feel." Next, Fina found Taro, a bear cub, sitting by the river, throwing stones with a scowl. "Hey, Taro, what's wrong?" "Nothing," he growled. Fina sat next to him silently. After a moment, Taro mumbled, "My big brother took my honey and didn't say sorry. I'm so mad." Red roses in the garden burst into brilliant blooms. "It's okay to feel angry," Fina said. "Talking about it helps keep the thorns from hurting others." Taro nodded. "I'll tell him how I feel without shouting." Finally, Fina visited Mira, a shy deer hiding behind a tree. Mira's colors were dim. She wasn't sad or angry, just quiet. "Mira," whispered Fina, "how are you feeling?" "I don't know," Mira said softly. "Sometimes my feelings get tangled, and I don't know what they are." Fina smiled. "That happens to me, too." "Let's name them together." They closed their eyes and breathed slowly. Mira whispered, "I feel a little scared and a little lonely." Gentle green leaves filled the garden with calm. Fina ran back to the garden and saw the most beautiful sight. Yellow daisies shining bright, blue tulips swaying softly, red roses glowing without thorns, and green leaves dancing in the breeze. She realized something important. Every feeling matters. Happiness, sadness, anger, fear, calm, all are part of the garden of the heart. From that day on, the animals in the valley had a new habit. Every evening, they gathered under Orlo's tree to share one feeling they had that day. Sometimes they laughed, sometimes they cried, sometimes they sat in silence together. The garden stayed colorful and alive because no feeling was left in the dark. And Fina? She became known as the little fox of feelings, reminding everyone that talking about your emotions doesn't make you weak. It makes the world brighter. Adventures. Our fairy tale has come to an end, but so many new wonders lie ahead. Subscribe so you don't miss the next story.